trying to sell in the DMs. You're trying to sell by chat. And what you're finding is that people are ghosting you, telling you they don't got the money or that they want to think about it. You're probably not following a process. I see a lot of people doing sell by chat. They're just all over the place. What I'm going to give you today is the formula, the blueprint, the script that I use to do $2 million a year only in the DMs. Not a single sales call. We collect the payments start to finish. So at the end of this, you'll have a super simple script to follow and you'll have the exact formula that we use. So step one. Very simple. You engage with people. I always recommend that you engage with the people that are engaging with you. So if people are following you, liking your posts, commenting on your posts, they know your stuff. They might like your stuff. There's a reason why they're in your world. So reach out, communicate with them. It's social media. Be social. Say, hey, name, thank you for the follow, or thank you for the engagement. Thank you for the action that you're taking. And then ask a question that's going to give them an either or to help them filter themselves of whether they want to have this conversation. Hey, name, thanks for the action that you took. Are you here for the vids or are you looking for outcome that you help with? So for me, it might be, thanks for liking my post. Are you here for the vids or are you looking to grow your business? This is going to give them an either or so that they can filter themselves if they want to have this conversation or not. From there, we move into step two. So the second step in the sales blueprint is to evaluate. It's to see if you can even help them, qualify them, to determine if they're a fit for what it is that they do. You want to figure out maybe what industry they're in or how much money they're making to figure out if they can even afford your solution. So I'm going to ask, I'm going to say, give me an idea. How long have you been building this type of business? Or how long have you been working in X? How far along are you in terms of income or in terms of your revenue? You can ask this question in other ways. You can ask how many clients they serve, what their model is, or what their offer looks like, and do the math on your own if you're uncomfortable asking about the revenue. And then I like to throw in there why I'm asking the question. So see if I can help. You may even say, asking in case I can help, right? So from there, if it's somebody that you can help, you move on to the next step. At no point do I move on to the next step until I feel completely satisfied that I've covered the step that I'm on. So if it is somebody that can help, I move on. If it's not, then I show them other ways that I can help. Maybe I'll point them to someone that's a better fit for them, or a book, a YouTube video, so that I can maybe help them get to a place where they'd be a fit. So in step three, it's where I empower them. And I choose the word empower because I want at all times in this conversation for the person I'm talking to feel like they're walking towards me. They're making a decision that's right for them. It's not me telling them that they need my help. So I'll typically here give them the microphone. I'll give them the opportunity to tell me. So I'll just ask them, like, how familiar are you with what I do? I want to see where they're at. I'm going to ask them, what was it that resonated about my content? What did you like? What did you see? What do you know? If they don't know anything about me, this might be a good opportunity for me to give them context, tell them what I'm about, or send them something that will bring them up to speed. Here, if they don't know who you are, you can give them some homework, or you could just say, I've been working with a lot of people just like you and helping them make more money or get whatever result. Is that worth a chat? Or do you want to dig in to see if I can help? If they are familiar with you and they're like, hey, I love what you're doing, I love your stuff, I would just move on. So in the next part of the stage, it's about building the gap. So building the gap means where they want to be, where they are currently, and I want to create space in their mind so that they can feel like, wow, this is a bigger problem than I realized. I want to ask questions that positions me as the expert. I want to ask questions that will demonstrate that maybe I know what they're doing better than them. So the first thing I want to do is ask about the results that they're looking for. So I'll say, let's talk about your vision. What's your goal in 12 months time? Tell me about the personal stuff. Tell me about the professional stuff. And I even want to give them little cues of how I'd like them to answer. Like, give me the exciting ones with a little winky face. I throw a little stuff in there to keep the conversation fun because I don't want them to feel like they're talking to AI. I want it to feel like they're just talking to a guy. So what do you want to achieve? Why is that important to you? Who's affected by that? I want to understand them and where it is that they're heading. At this stage in results, goals. It's one of those ones where I really want to make sure that their goal is big enough that I will be able to create a gap. So if they're very close to their goal already, I may push them a little bit and tell them what's possible and check to see if they're with me. So anytime that I make a statement, I want to just stop and ask if they agree before moving forward. Because if I make a statement, they may not agree with me. So I'm going to say, I think you could actually do this much more. There's a lot of potential out there and you've got it in you. Are you with me when I say that? And they might go, yeah, I'm with you. Great. We can move on to step 5. So at step 5, we're going to talk about what's true currently. It's great to dream and talk about all the amazing things that we want to achieve. Now I'm going to ask, I'm going to say, where are you now? Just so that I know how much progress we'll need to make. I'll say that in the chat. Let's map this out. What does that look like right now? How much are you currently making? What have you tried to fix it? What are you doing about that? How long have you been working to fix this? Are you happy with the results that you're getting? Do you think that you could do better? And letting them tell me if they think they're doing great or not. So once I got a feel for what it is that they're doing, and I can tell that what they're doing probably isn't going to get them to their goals, I'm going to go a couple layers deeper. I want to penetrate. I want to really get into the problem here until they tell me a feeling. So for me, I'm not ever going to offer a solution until somebody has given me an emotion. I haven't earned the right to say like, oh, you need some help until I get an emotion. And that means it feels like X. So here we jump into the roadblocks. I know where you are. I know where you want to go. Now, what would need to be true for us to get there? So I'll just ask, like, what do you need to reach that goal? What's hard? What are you struggling with right now? What's slowing you down? If someone's a high achiever, I might ask, what's pulling your focus from making that a priority? So depending on the personality type is how you're going to ask the questions, because somebody who knows what they're doing is going to be reluctant to say, hey, I'm struggling. But if you say, what's pulling your focus from making that a priority, they'll know and they'll tell you. So I may even make it an identity thing. I may say, who would you need to become in order to get those results? So here, before I move on into my solution, here is where I maybe want to test the gap. I maybe want to see like where they're at with this and say, do you feel like your current strategy will get you to where you want to go? Or are you going to need to make some changes? And they'll tell you. If they tell you, I feel like my current strategy will get me there, then it would be dangerous to move towards this because you're just going to get a no. If they feel like they need to make some changes, now you can move towards solutions. So step 7 is the setup. You want to set up. You want to start transitioning from the pain and the problems, and you want to start moving towards the heaven. So you're going to tell them, based on what you're telling me, this situation is right up my alley. Like, I've helped this many people achieve it, or you could say, I could get you X outcome. But as with anything, it does require that you show up, you make the effort. So here's where you're going to test their commitment. You want people who are ready to make a change. The pain of staying the same needs to be greater than the pain of making a change. So I'm just going to come out and ask, is this a now thing? At this stage, don't be afraid to let people go. If somebody says, it doesn't have to be a now thing, it means you probably didn't do a good enough job at understanding how much money they're losing by not changing. But if they say, hey, I don't think this is a now thing, be willing to say, not a problem. Just let me know when you're ready to, and then create some intrigue. It's going to make it so that you don't come off needy, like you need the sale. It's just going to come off like, hey, I've got something fantastic, and when you're ready for it, I'll be here. What you're going to find when you're willing to just let go is that people can feel that. They feel the energy. A few days might go by, a few weeks, maybe even a few months, but they will come back. And they'll come back and be a buyer versus an I'll think about it. If it is a now thing and they're ready to rock and roll, they're ready to make some changes, become the person who can get to these things. Move on to step 8. Step 8 is where you share. You share with them how you can help. You share your offer, your proposal. So I'm going to say that. Well, let's make that happen for you. You would be a fit for this product, this solution, this offer. It includes, and create some intrigue. It includes weekly calls with me. It includes all my scripts, all my playbooks, and get permission. Do you want me to send you the details so that it feels like they're deciding? They're going to say yes, they want the details. You can send them your sales letter and say, once you've read it, let me know if you're in or have questions, which brings us to step 9. Step 9 is the sign up. It's enrolling them. It's bringing them into your world. So So if you've done a really good job at all these stages, then the sign up should just be a given. They should say, I'm in, let's go. And you just sign them up. However, sometimes there's gonna be objections and you gotta expect it and be willing to help them work through it. The last thing you wanna do when someone says, hey, I don't have the time or I don't have the money, is to just get argumentative with them and try to push them to do it. So what you wanna do is disarm them and say, all good, or that's fine, or no problem. And then you wanna isolate the objection to make sure and clarify that what they're telling you is even true. So besides not having the money, can you see this getting you to the goal that we talked about? Can you see this getting you to $1 million a year? And then they'll tell you, yeah, I can see it getting me there. Then you can help them problem solve it, make it make sense. Why do you think it would help you get there? Anyways, well, I think it would do X, Y, and Z. So you're getting them to think about why it would work for them. You're getting them to sell themselves on working with you. So from there, you could say, what could we do to come up with the funds? Or would it help if I let you break it up into a payment plan? Figure it out. From there, be willing to ask for the sale and overcome and ask and overcome and ask. Do you want to get started so that we can get to work solving that for you? And you're going to get a yes if you're persistent. They're going to say, yeah, sign me up. So from there, you're going to send the payment link and you're going to say, the next step, click here, enroll here, get you set up. Let me know once it's done and I'll send you a special bonus. So in summary, if you do this process really well, people will go from strangers to sending you thousands of dollars through the DMs within a single day. They're active in the chats and answering you. The really big difference maker is that you always follow this process and you personalize it when you're talking to. Everyone's a little different. And the beauty of social media is that you can go and investigate them. You can be a professional, have a look at their profile, notice whether or not they have a family or the types of things that they're into and talk about it with them. People want to buy from other people. So just don't be a robot. Help them get to the things that they want to get to. And if you can't do that, be willing to point them towards the things that can. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you guys want the full script, everything that's here and everything in between, go follow me on Instagram. It is the Chat Sales Guy and it's going to be in the bio, and send me a DM, the word script. I'll send you the document totally free, just here to help you guys out. I'm like forgetting to breathe, bro. All right.